You know someone who never asks for respect yet always receives it, never seeks attention yet commands it the moment they enter, never tries to prove their worth yet everyone assumes they are valuable. What is it they possess that you don't? It isn't money. I've seen people with nothing hold this power. It isn't looks. I've witnessed plain-looking individuals captivate entire rooms. It isn't even intelligence. Some of the sharpest minds I know get ignored daily. What they carry is invisible, but so powerful it transforms every single interaction. And here's the shocking truth. This secret has been in plain sight for over 5 centuries. Machiavelli himself revealed it. The most influential figures in the world use it every day, yet nearly everyone else goes their whole life blind to its existence. Today, I'm going to expose this hidden trait and show you how to build it starting right now. But understand this. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You'll begin to recognize who truly holds power and who is only pretending. You'll finally see why some take everything while others are left with nothing. And I want you to affirm this right now in the comments. I choose to become the hidden force that shapes reality. Now, let's unlock Machiavelli's most dangerous secret. Number 1. The invisible power revelation. You've been deceived your entire life, told that power comes from being loud, forceful, or demanding. That's counterfeit power. That's what the weak resort to when they're desperate for control. Real power moves silently. It thrives in the shadows. It influences without being noticed. Think of the most powerful person you've personally encountered. Not celebrities, not politicians, but someone real. Did they scream for attention? Did they constantly brag about accomplishments? Did they dominate every conversation? I doubt it. They had something else, a presence that drew people in without effort, a quality that commanded respect without ever asking. I call it invisible dominance, and it is the most unfair advantage anyone can hold. While the masses fight for attention, you'll command it naturally. While they struggle to be heard, people will cling to your every word. While they beg to be taken seriously, you'll be respected before you even speak. And here's the devastating part. No one will even realize how you're doing it. Average people, they broadcast everything, their fears, their thoughts, their plans, their weaknesses. They walk around as open books, easy to manipulate. Invisible dominance keeps others guessing. It forces them to work to understand you. It creates an irresistible mystery that keeps you in full control. Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few truly know what you are." That is the essence of invisible dominance, controlling the image while keeping the reality hidden. Most believe influence comes from being the loudest presence in the room. That's amateur thinking. True influence is the unseen force that no one anticipates until it's too late to resist. So affirm this with me. Mystery is my strength. Silence is my weapon. Number 2, why predictable people always lose. Let's destroy a belief that is quietly killing your influence. People assume that openness and transparency make them trustworthy. In truth, it makes them controllable. When others can read every emotion, predict every reaction, and know exactly how you'll respond, they own you. You've handed them the strings. That isn't authenticity, it's weakness. Look closely at those who consistently get their way. Do they reveal everything they feel? Do they react emotionally to every event? Do they explain themselves to anyone who demands answers? Never. They guard their inner world. They reveal selectively, not impulsively. They know predictability kills power. If someone knows how you'll respond to criticism, they can control you with it. If they know which praise excites you, they can manipulate you through flattery. If they know your triggers, they can press them at will. Machiavelli said, "The first method of judging a ruler's intelligence is to observe the men around him." But here lies the deeper truth. You can measure someone's power by how much they keep concealed. The wise treat their information like treasure. The weak give it away freely and then wonder why they're used and discarded. Every time you overshare, you give away leverage. Every time you overreact, you lose respect. Every time you over-explain, you surrender authority. The goal isn't to be mysterious for no reason. The goal is to be intentional about what you reveal when you reveal it, and to whom. Information is currency. Every piece you hand out is power slipping through your fingers. Every emotion you broadcast is a weapon you've placed in someone else's hands, ready to be used against you. Being unreadable is not about being fake. It's about being intelligent. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am unreadable, unpredictable, and unstoppable. Number 3, the silent observer's hidden weapon. Here's a truth that will transform the way you experience every conversation. The one asking the questions controls the dialogue, not the one answering them. Most people believe that talking more means adding more value. They think silence means insignificance. They rush to fill every quiet moment because stillness makes them uneasy. And this is their greatest weakness and your greatest advantage. While others are busy talking, you're absorbing. While they reveal their strategies, you uncover their flaws. While they perform, you collect intelligence. Silent observation grants you an edge that endless talkers will never possess. You begin to notice what others completely overlook. You detect the topics that make people uncomfortable. You pick up on the words that trigger strong reactions. You see through the lies, the insecurities, the agendas hiding beneath the surface. And here's the beauty. People give you this information freely, too busy speaking to realize what they're exposing. But let's be clear, this isn't about being antisocial. You're still present, you're still engaged, you're just operating with precision instead of impulse. You ask thoughtful questions that make others reveal more than they planned. You make targeted observations that prove you're truly listening. You contribute insights at the perfect moment with maximum weight. But you don't offer personal details recklessly. You don't fill silences with nervous chatter. You don't feel compelled to have an opinion on everything. Machiavelli once said, "Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if one must choose, it is far safer to be feared than loved." And here's the deeper meaning. When people can't read you, they don't know whether to love you, fear you, or respect you. So, they choose all three. Every interaction becomes a game where you are the only one thinking strategically while everyone else simply reacts. People begin seeking your counsel because you're the one who listens. They trust your judgment because you don't rush. They value your opinions because you don't scatter them carelessly. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I speak with purpose, listen with power, and observe with advantage. Number 4. The scarcity power principle. Here's a psychological truth most people violate daily. Scarcity builds value. Availability destroys it. If you're constantly there for everyone, you fade into the background. If you say yes to every request, your agreement becomes meaningless. If you respond instantly to every message, your attention loses all worth. You condition the world to take you for granted. But when you become selectively available, everything shifts. Your presence becomes an event. Your attention becomes coveted. Your time becomes precious. This isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding human nature. People cherish rarity and dismiss what's common. Think of anything valuable. Is it everywhere? All the time for everyone? Absolutely not. Gold holds value because it's scarce. Diamonds are prized because they're limited. Masterpieces are priceless because they cannot be replicated. Your attention must operate the same way. When you create strategic scarcity, people work to earn your time instead of expecting it. Your presence turns into a privilege, not a guarantee. Your opinions carry weight because they aren't handed out cheaply. Machiavelli once observed, "Men in general judge more by the sense of sight than by the sense of touch. For everyone can see, but few can test by feeling." People assess your worth by how easily they can access you. Make access effortless, and they'll assume you hold little value. So how does this apply? You don't answer every call immediately. You respond on your terms. You don't accept every invitation. You choose the ones that truly matter. You don't drop everything the moment someone demands your time. You give it when you decide it's right. This forces others to respect your presence rather than assume it. It makes your energy something to be earned rather than something to be expected. And when you do engage, people notice. When you contribute, it resonates. When you speak, everyone pays attention because they know you don't waste yourself on the trivial. Your scarcity becomes your strength. Your selectivity becomes your power. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My time is precious. My presence is powerful. Number 5, strategic presence mastery. Most people believe that being present means showing up everywhere, taking part in everything, and voicing opinions on every subject. They attend every gathering, join every discussion, and try to insert themselves into every decision. They think more presence equals more influence. They couldn't be more wrong. Strategic presence isn't about being everywhere. It's about being in the right place at the right time with flawless timing. When you master this, you don't just attend events. You become the event everyone remembers. Here's the difference. Random presence makes you forgettable. Strategic presence makes you unforgettable. Instead of chasing every discussion, you choose the ones that matter. Instead of appearing at every gathering, you arrive where your impact will be greatest. Instead of speaking every time you have a thought, you speak when your words will strike with maximum force. This demands discipline that most people lack. It requires saying no to good opportunities so you can dominate great ones. It requires missing some moments so the ones you choose become legendary. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves." Strategic presence is knowing when to be the watchful fox and when to be the commanding lion. Sometimes the smartest move is to stay unseen, observing and learning. Other times the right move is to step forward and seize control. The power lies in reading each situation perfectly and responding with precision. When you enter strategically, the atmosphere changes. When you speak strategically, your words linger long after you've finished. When you act strategically, results follow. But when you're everywhere constantly, you blend into the background. When you talk endlessly, your words lose power. When you react to everything, people stop respecting you. Strategic presence also means knowing when to leave. The person who knows the perfect exit often leaves the strongest impression. You want people wishing you stayed longer, never waiting for you to finally leave. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose my moments. I control my presence. Number 6, emotional control mastery. This is where most people lose everything. They let others dictate their emotions, and their emotions dictate their actions. Every day, people try to manipulate you. They use praise to lower your guard. They use criticism to trigger your defensiveness. They use pressure to force you into mistakes. They use flattery to make you reckless. If you react emotionally, they win and you lose. Emotional control doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means feeling everything but responding only when it serves your goals. When someone insults you, feel the anger, but don't display it unless it gives you an edge. When someone flatters you, enjoy it, but don't depend on it. When someone pressures you, notice it, but don't let it rush your decisions. Your emotions are signals, not commands. Most people confuse honesty with reactivity. They think expressing every feeling immediately makes them authentic. In reality, it makes them weak, predictable, and easy to control. Machiavelli once said, "Whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past, for human events ever resemble those of preceding times. The pattern never changes. Emotional people are controlled. Controlled people hold power." Here's how it looks in real life. Someone provokes you, hoping you'll say something they can use against you. Instead of snapping, you pause, think, and respond on your terms, or not at all. Someone manufactures urgency to force you into a bad decision. Instead of panicking, you take your time and choose wisely, ignoring their fake deadline. Someone uses guilt or fear to bend your behavior. Instead of giving in, you recognize the game, evaluate your real choices, and act in your own interest. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you powerful. When chaos breaks out and you remain calm, people turn to you for direction. When panic spreads and you stay rational, people trust your judgment. When emotions flare and you keep control, people see you as the answer. Number 7. The power of strategic silence. Silence is the greatest weapon you probably aren't using, and it terrifies most people. They assume silence means they're not contributing. They think quiet moments are awkward and must be filled. They believe that if they're not speaking, they're not valuable. They are completely wrong. Strategic silence is stronger than words. It creates a void that forces others to reveal themselves. It builds tension that makes your eventual words strike like thunder. It demonstrates confidence no endless talking could ever achieve. But there's a difference between empty silence and strategic silence. Random quiet makes you seem uneasy. Strategic silence makes you seem powerful and in command. When to use this weapon? After making an important point, let it sink in instead of rushing to explain or defend it. When someone asks a loaded question meant to trap you, pause, think carefully, then answer on your terms. When tensions rise and everyone talks over each other, your silence makes you the most noticeable presence in the room. When someone pressures you for an immediate decision, silence buys you time and often forces them to reveal their true motives. Machiavelli once said, "Never was anything great achieved without danger." Strategic silence is dangerous because it gives you unexpected advantages, but it takes courage that most people don't have. Here's the beauty of it. Most people hate silence so much that they'll fill it with information you never asked for. They'll expose weaknesses, reveal strategies, and give away negotiating positions just to avoid a few seconds of quiet. This is pure gold for you. While they scramble to fill the void, you're absorbing. While they reveal their hand, you're calculating how to use it. While they grow nervous, you grow stronger. Silence also forces people to work harder for your attention. When they realize you won't react to everything they say, they think more carefully before speaking to you. Your words become events, not background noise. And when you finally break the silence, people lean in, they focus, they remember, because your words stand apart from all the noise. Now drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks volumes. My words carry weight. My presence commands respect. Number 8, never reveal everything you can do. Here's a mistake that ruins opportunities more often than people realize. They show all their abilities right away. They think proving everything they can do builds instant credibility. They think revealing their full potential demonstrates value. They think transparency equals trust, but this destroys power. When you reveal everything at once, you erase mystery, kill intrigue, and hand people all they need to counter you. Predictable means controllable. The powerful reveal their strengths strategically, piece by piece, always keeping something in reserve. They understand that mystery maintains influence, while full transparency destroys it. This applies to everything. Your skills, your resources, your knowledge, your connections. Never reveal your full hand in the first meeting. Never showcase your entire skill set unless it's absolutely required. Never spill all your knowledge just to impress. Share enough to spark interest, but never so much that people feel they fully know your potential. Machiavelli once said, "He who neglects what is done for what ought to be done sooner affects his ruin than his preservation." Most think being fully open about their abilities makes them admirable. In truth, it makes them vulnerable. Keeping capabilities hidden serves many purposes. It allows you to shock people when they underestimate you. It gives you flexibility to adapt when situations shift. It prevents others from developing counters to your strengths. It keeps people curious, always guessing, always engaged. And here's the key: you're not lying. You're being selective about what you reveal and when. You answer honestly, but you don't volunteer unnecessary details. You prove competence, but you don't unload your full arsenal without cause. This works everywhere. People can't copy what they don't know. They can't take you for granted when they're still discovering your depth. They can't manipulate information you haven't given. Your hidden skills become secret weapons. Your concealed knowledge becomes leverage. Your unseen resources become protection. People respect what they can measure, but they're fascinated by what they can't. Fascination breeds influence, and influence creates power. Number 9, creating uncertainty that works for you. Here's a psychological principle that gives you massive leverage. People make mistakes when they're uncertain, and powerful people create uncertainty in others while staying certain themselves. When people can't predict your next move, they start doubting their own. When they can't read your intentions, they hesitate. When they don't know where they stand with you, they work harder to earn your approval. This isn't about being difficult, it's about understanding human nature. Certainty makes people complacent. Uncertainty keeps them sharp. Think of any relationship where one person is completely predictable. The other stops trying because they know exactly what to expect. No challenge, no mystery, no effort. But introduce uncertainty, strategic, intentional uncertainty, and the dynamic stays alive, engaging, and powerful. This works everywhere. If people can always predict your reactions, they stop respecting them. If they know your responses in advance, they can manipulate them. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But here is the deeper truth: it is even better to be unpredictable than either feared or loved, because unpredictability commands respect. So how do you create it? Sometimes respond fast, sometimes take your time. Don't be random, be deliberate. Respond quickly when speed serves you. Delay when patience gives you the edge. Vary your emotional temperature wisely. Sometimes be warm, other times cooler. People value your warmth more when they know it isn't guaranteed. Don't always be present when expected. Have genuine priorities and responsibilities that sometimes take precedence. Shift your decision-making rhythm. Decide quickly when information is sufficient. Take your time when reflection gives you the advantage. This keeps people attentive in their dealings with you. They remain engaged because they never fully know what to expect. But remember, the aim is interest and engagement, not anxiety. Uncertainty should spark curiosity, not fear. Now write this affirmation in the comments. I am predictable in my values, unpredictable in my methods. Number 10, becoming the hidden force. This is where true mastery begins, becoming someone who operates with invisible dominance, not just understanding it. This transformation doesn't mean changing your personality. It means elevating your strategy. You're not turning into someone else. You're unlocking the most powerful version of yourself. First, eliminate 3 habits that drain your influence. Eliminate the hunger for constant validation. Stop seeking approval from everyone at every moment. Your value is not tied to other people's opinions, and chasing their approval weakens you. Eliminate the need to over-explain. When you make a decision, you don't owe the world endless justifications. When you set a boundary, you don't need to apologize. When you say no, no stands strong by itself. Eliminate emotional reactivity. Feel your emotions, process them privately, then respond with intention. Your first impulse is rarely your strongest strategic move. Machiavelli once said, "The best fortress which a prince can possess is the affection of the people." But your truest fortress is self-control, because no one can manipulate what they cannot predict. Now build these new habits. Always pause before responding to something important. That pause gives you the space to act with strategy, not impulse. It also makes your words carry more gravity. Ask questions instead of just making statements. Questions give you power because they draw out information and steer the direction of the conversation. Statements only reveal what you already think. Be selectively available based on value, not convenience. Your time should be earned, not assumed. Speak with clarity and precision. Every word should serve a purpose. Cut away filler, empty phrases, and approval-seeking comments. The goal is to influence without exposing the mechanics, to shift outcomes without demanding credit, to be the presence that alters the atmosphere without ever announcing itself. That is invisible dominance. Maximum influence with minimal effort, maximum respect with minimal conflict, maximum power with minimal resistance. Remember this truth. Real power thrives in shadows, while false power screams in spotlights. While others scramble for attention, you will cultivate quiet authority. While they demand respect with noise, you will earn it with subtle mastery. While they push for control through force, you will shape outcomes through strategy. Invisible dominance isn't a gift you're born with. It's a discipline you develop. It's not personality, it's practice. And like any discipline, it strengthens each time you use it. Every single day gives you a chance to practice it. Every conversation is an opportunity to listen deeply while revealing little. Every decision is a test of acting strategically instead of impulsively. Every interaction is a stage to demonstrate the silent weight of being unreadable. Begin now with your next conversation. Instead of trying to impress, focus on truly understanding. Instead of rushing to fill silence, wield it with precision. Instead of reacting to someone else's energy, master your own. Most people will never grasp this. They're too obsessed with being seen to realize that the most powerful people remain unseen. They're too desperate to be heard to understand that the deepest influence comes through listening. But you know differently. You know mystery is strength, silence is power, and invisible dominance is the ultimate weapon. The world overflows with people begging for attention and demanding respect. Be the rare person who earns both without asking. Be the hidden force shaping reality. If this video shifted your perspective on power, press like and share it with someone who needs this truth. Subscribe for more strategies to sharpen your edge in life. And never forget this. The most dangerous person in any room is the one who cannot be read, cannot be predicted, and cannot be controlled. Leave this final affirmation in the comments. I am the hidden force that shapes my reality through invisible dominance and strategic action. Now step forward and become unstoppable.